Who else wants to defy aging? Oh, my guest today is Mary Sloane, and she is defyaging.com. Who doesn't want to defy aging?
Facing head-on the emotions beneath the surface as we bridge from an old world of confusion and lack to a beautiful new world of freedom, abundance, and love with straightforward truth and inspired hope is what you'll find on The Charla Anderson Show. Collector and connector of fascinating people. And everyone is fascinating. Here's your host, Charla Anderson.
Well, good, beautiful day, beautiful, beautiful souls. This is Charla Anderson, host of The Charla Anderson Show, collector and connector of fascinating people, and everyone is fascinating, especially you. So grateful you would join us today. Who else wants to defy aging? Oh, my guest today is Mary Sloane, and she is defyaging.com. Who doesn't want to defy aging? Let's just do this and have a conversation around how we can do that today with Mary Sloane. But first, we're going to do the little 22-second mini vacation that we do every week. And our little breathing exercise, we're going to breathe in some calm for 7 seconds. We're going to hold for 4 seconds. We're going to let out gratitude for 11 seconds. So here, let's have it. Join me if you will. Here we go. Breathe in some calm. Hold. Relax, release. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We have a little bit of release here, our timing release, and I'm excited. We have some guests coming in today. Maybe you want to mute your camera, and it's up to you. And we'll have conversation later, so it's exciting. Mary Sloane. Now, we met through Senior Tubers, and Senior Tubers is a YouTube presentation. Fran Acero, oh my gosh, she's hysterical. She's a hoot. She's helping those of us that are a little bit mature learn how to use and do our YouTube better. And there's a lot going on YouTube, right? The number 2 search engine after Google, which they're both owned by Google. Anyway, we met through Senior Tubers, so we have had an opportunity just to barely meet, but Mary Sloane is really excited about the topic of defying aging. And she and I are in the similar age group. I'm in my 70s, and I believe she may be too. And so who wants to grow old? Who wants to sit, who wants to retire? No way. We ain't stopping. So Mary, tell us who you are in this world. What are you up to? And then we'll talk about how you get around to this staying young.
Well, this is a passion that has been my passion since I was in my 20s, and I wasn't aged at that time, and I had lots of getting older to do, and it wasn't really a problem. But I had a breast biopsy, and it turned out to not be cancerous, but it really woke me up to the world of being at care for your own health, because right then and there, I realized that I was really careless. I was young. It was fun. You could eat and drink and do everything and anything, and there was no problem. And then suddenly there was a problem. And I thought, I wonder if there's anything that I should do or could do that would make this not be a problem or help it be sure it's not a problem. And I met people along the way. One fellow was telling me how women around the world, in countries where they did not wear bras, actually very seldom had breast cancer. I thought, I'm in. And I took off a bra. I put on a little cover, and I haven't worn a bra So I probably haven't worn a bra since I was in my late 20s. And it's, made no particular difference other than that my breasts are not floppy. They actually stand up. And so I guess that's of interest to people that, don't have that. But
I think that's really fascinating. I have never heard that. And I have been in this, around this topic a long time and a lot, and it kind of makes sense. And back in those days, a lot of people weren't wearing bras, but that was a kind of a different story then, or a different reason.
Well, and lots of countries don't have their women wearing bras, they swaddle and whatever. But and it's not necessary to wear a bra, and you'll be fine. And the other thing that I really started to get into was the fact that we can get older. Years are going to pass. And lots of them do. But aging is actually a choice. And this has been a topic that, and you might have heard it back in the day. When I first started into this movement, it was called anti-aging. And there were a lot of products that were kind of anti-aging products. And I got into network marketing, started marketing a lot of anti-aging products. So I sort of started on my journey of anti-aging way, way, way back. And I got into a product called Klamath Blue Falls Algae, and the product itself was amazing. Everybody that took it felt wonderful. It seemed to be full of everything that people needed to have really, really totally good health. And then, of course, sadly, because it was a very natural product, the algae changed on the lake, and that was the end of the product, which was really a tragedy. But in the process, the people who had gathered in network marketing to do this were so knowledgeable about diet and about exercise and about all the things that you needed to do in order to make sure that you did not age prematurely, that, you really took and started to take good care of your health. So I started on that journey and learned, first of all, one of the worst things that anybody can eat is sugar. And so many people are addicted to sugar. And what's true is that sugar, if it were discovered today instead of hundreds of years ago or a couple of hundred years ago, would be banned because it is an addictive, dangerous drug. And it is that addictive and it is that dangerous. And many people know, because they're suffering from it, that, they've got these sugary drinks. They can't put them down. They can't have coffee without adding sugar to it. And it is so dangerous and so bad for your health. I drink coffee. I love my coffee. Coffee's good for you. I drink it black, or I might put some MCT oil in it just for a little boost, but sugar, cream, no, not me. Those things are terrible. And
you don't think it's possibly the processing? If you go out and ate sugar cane out of the field, that is one thing that I think the processing probably is a lot of the issue with most of the things in our diets right now. But well,
it might be. I can't speak to that, but I do know that it is a very, very dangerous product as it is marketed. And sugar in many, many forms is a very dangerous product. What do we use at home? We use coconut sugar. And it's one of those that does not have addictive and, high energy. I mean, before I learned this, I can remember the highs and lows that I would have. Grab my coffee in the morning, add some sugar, add some milk, and drink it down, and it was good. But then I wanted more, and by 10 o'clock, I was like, oh, where's my coffee? And now I don't have those highs and lows. So it really does make a difference. But I'll tell you, it is hard. I went through my fridge, I went through my cupboards, I went through everything. And I just said, okay, I'm cleaning the whole thing out. And I went and took everything that I could find that had anything that might have sugar in it and chucked it out and said, this is the only way that I'm going to get clear of sugar. Because if I've got some around somewhere, and then of course I had the problem when people came over for a cup of coffee, I had no sugar for them, none, period. Too bad. I'd grab a tablespoon of coconut sugar, which they thought was really weird. But anyway, that was, you couldn't find sugar in my house, and you couldn't find products that have sugar in it because it's just too dangerous. And so it's things like that that have really kind of focused my mind on, this is an important topic that people need to know more about. And especially as we get older, people tend to think, oh, I'm older, I should settle down, I should slow down. No. It's the worst time to do that, because you need to stay active. I mean, I go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. I get out and walk every day because I know how important it is for me. Yesterday, we live in British Columbia, and we had snow. I still got out for a walk in the snow. And it was beautiful, I mean, it was a beautiful time of day, and it wasn't really bitterly cold, but I grew up in Alberta. I know what bitterly cold is. I mean, at 30 and 40 below, it's bitterly cold. So
it was 85 here yesterday in Fort Worth, Texas. But so, actually, I understand this. Activity is huge and important for us to keep doing. And this is a stat I heard a year or so ago, that the vast majority of seniors that need to go into assisted living, is the number one reason is they don't have the leg strength to get themselves up off the toilet. And if that's the case, then, a few squats while you're doing your toothbrushing, I call it the Sonicare shuffle, you're doing some movement while you're brushing your teeth, just to keep us moving. We've gotten so sedentary. I don't watch television, so it's not something that I do, but, people got the remote and, addicted to the TV, which is an addiction to inactivity as well. And just it kind of slippery slope. Slippery slope.
I'm with you. I mean, we didn't have a TV for a very long time. We've now gotten it again, and my husband will turn it on when he gets home. He loves the hockey games and the baseball games and the football games and all that good stuff. I can't say I ever watch it. I couldn't tell you what was a TV show. I mean, it's not a conversation I can have with anybody. I don't know.
Me neither. So I feel like we have a whole lot, other than perhaps the diet thing that you're a little bit more restricted on. Personal development junkie, network marketing in a lot of ways. There's so many things that I feel like we have a similar thing. No TV, a similar personality, so to speak, I guess, of just things that we're interested in and want to make a difference in everybody's life. That is just who we are. I was a flight attendant, so I'm a server and all that. So I think that it's kind of fun to continue finding little things. I did mention before while we were waiting to start that you've got tons of videos out there. And so I know we're with Fran and senior tubers, we're working to getting a little bit better at that. But I clicked on one 10-year-old video that was a minute and a half or something. It was just a very small thing. And I clicked on one just to kind of get a feel for who you were. And you mentioned Jim Lutz and Jim Britt, who are the co-author or the producers of the Change book series. And I just find so many little, I love them. I call God winks or, synchronicities or coincidences or miracles, whatever we want to call them. I live that way. I'm always attracting that, but it's just fun. It makes my life happier just to pay attention when those things happen, right?
I agree totally. I mean, the synchronicities, the people that you find, they go, oh, wow, I do something similar. Or, oh, I didn't know that. I'd love to add that to this. And you just open up conversations. And the other good thing is that although both of us are in our 70s, we actually know that we have to stay active. We have to stay in communication. We have to share our gifts. These are very important things that we know naturally that we have to do. And it just helps us stay younger. And it helps us to stay involved. I'm still active on Facebook. I'm still active on LinkedIn. I want to help people actually to defy aging, because now I say it's not anti-aging. We are going to get more proactive, and we're actually going to say, no, I'm not going to continue to age. I can't stop the time. It's going to go by, but I can certainly take care of my health. And, one of my favorite expressions is health is wealth. Imagine the people who don't have their health and what they would pay and what they may be paying to try and live that little extra time. It just goes on and on and on. As I said, it started with a cancer scare, and it woke me up to the fact that I can be at cause for my health, and I can be at cause for how long I will live. And we live in a magical time as far as I'm concerned. People are now living longer and longer and longer. And the scientists and the people that are studying this, one of the people that I follow, and was one of the books that I found early on, called Lifespan, Why We Age and Why We Don't Have to. And it's by David Sinclair, PhD. And he, sort of took and put into a scientific framework everything that I kind of knew naturally and colloquially. And so there's things that they're learning. There's supplements that you can take now, no more heart disease. And like you were mentioning, some of them need precursors because, what you need in your body in order to have no more heart disease is nitric oxide. But you can't take nitric oxide. It doesn't live anywhere as a supplement that you can take, but you can take precursors, and it's in those precursors, and I just go on Amazon and find products. I mean, Amazon, the amazing marketplace. So you've got things that you can do that are out there. And when you get interested in the subject, I just find people magically show up in my world. at one point in time, I had a doctor show up in my world on Facebook, and he was, helping us understand the aging process. And, one of the things he said is you've got to take melatonin every night in order to sleep better, because our bodies naturally decrease the melatonin. So up until you're in your 50s, you're not going to have that problem. Sleep should come pretty naturally and pretty easily. After that, you're going to need some help because the melatonin goes down. And so it's just staying in the conversation, being awake, understanding what can I change, what can't I change, steps can I take to make it better, to, preserve it. We were talking about being active. I go to the gym, 4 or 5 days a week. I also get out for a walk absolutely every day. Yesterday, snow. Oh, well, snow's walkable. And so, you get out there and you do it. But it becomes your habits. And I always say to people that what I want to do is I want to help them form the habits that will help them live long, healthy, and wealthy, because health is wealth. And, so that's kind of like my mission in the world.
So what about livelihood? Is this, I noticed that you're involved in AI, you're involved in network marketing, you're involved in quite a few endeavors that we're familiar with. And by the way, I believe that I'm going to live at least 120. I know that God said that in the Bible, and I'm like, I'm claiming it. So I'm gonna...
Sounds good to me. There was another person, and I'm not going to remember the name, but it was just in passing. 120 seems to be like a year that a lot of us are choosing. I did a lifespan test and I offer that to people who would like to get an idea. And it was created by life insurance people, because they want to know before they give you life insurance, what is the possibility for this person to actually live a long time? Am I, taking on somebody who's destined to die tomorrow? So I did the lifespan test, and it said that I was destined at that time to live to 107. So I thought, okay, well, that's not bad. I guess I can improve on that, but that's a good starter. And
living to those ages is only desirable if you're healthy, if you are vibrant, if you have the emotional and just the vibrancy is the word I keep coming up with. I want to be vibrant. I want to be balanced, but I want to have. I want to do it. I want to do it all. I want to have it all. Engaged, yeah, is another word. Absolutely engaged. So we've got.
I don't want to be sitting on a couch going, "Oh, time goes so slowly. What's there to do today?" Oh my gosh, no, thank you.
How did it get to be February 5th, 2025 already? I can't fathom it. I'll see a sign that says the road's going to be closed, February 5th. How did that happen? So it's kind of that, it just is going very, very quickly. And did you ever, this is totally off the topic, but time does feel like it's going quicker than it did when we were young. And you're familiar with the Schumann resonance? Schumann resonance. Okay. Schumann resonance is the vibration of the earth. And the vibration of the earth when we were younger was like 15, 16, something. I mean, it's something, but now it's shooting over to 100. So an hour is still an hour, but it's vibrating faster. So it feels faster. It's an interesting topic. You can go to, there's somebody on Facebook that they track it, the Schumann resonance, and it'll shoot up and, you're just like, man, where did the time go? And that could be a secret to it. Who knows?
Yeah, I hadn't heard about the Schumann resonance, but I mean, that's the exciting thing about having a topic that you're passionate about, and about being willing to look at it and figure out what's out there, what's changing, what more do I need to know, how can I learn more here, what else can I learn. I picked up another book, Young Forever, by another doctor, Dr. Mark Hyman, and he's a functional medical doctor, and he's now telling us that really it's functional medicine that is going to keep us younger. And he's got lots of formulas and things in his book. And he's got clinics where they actually can now start testing people and find out where and what is off, which is amazing. Because, of course, we were all just shooting from the hip for a long time. But they're now catching up with us and going, these people are on to something. And maybe we better figure out, since this is a real thing, and I mean, the blue zones have been in our life for a very long time. And we always knew there were people in the blue zones and that they lived usually well into their hundreds. Why did they do that? And what was different about them? And most
so
of them
describe a blue zone. Describe a blue zone.
Well, a blue zone, like there's about 5 or 6 of them in the world. And if you look them up, you can find them. One, I think, is in Japan.
So there are locations in the world where communities of indigenous people, and okay, so that because
not so much, in indigenous people in Greece, and what's interesting is, it's worthwhile to take a look at them because in the different areas, they're very much using what is available in their area. So it's not necessarily the same diet or the same kind of exercise or whatever, but it's community for one thing. So you want to feel connected to a community, and you want to feel like there's others on the journey with you. It's the fact that you don't bury yourself in a house and sit and watch TV. You're out there, you're in a garden. Most of the time they are in communities where they have community gardens, and they, grow things in community, and they all often get together in smaller pods, bigger pods, and have a meal together or something. So the togetherness is really also an important feature of what, it's sort of like if you're sitting alone by yourself all the time, you're not going to be really very interested in living a long time. That's really not a great place to be in. But if you're in a community and there's lots of activity around you and people are talking and thinking and working, then of course you're going to be much more interested in how can I continue to live? What can I contribute? What can I do? And those are healthy thoughts. Those are not thoughts about, oh, there's nothing to do. Oh, I'm so bored.
What's on the end of the remote? That's where. We keep going back to that same topic. I'm all like, I want to just mention something to you that because I have and just in the last few months, I've been in a network marketing company called Zervita for 16 years, since it very first began. And there's Zeal Wellness, which is nothing but superfoods. It's an amazing drink and tastes great. Zurge is my memory boosting coffee that I love. Well, we're combining with a 20-year-old. This is their 20th anniversary this year. That's Zervita. This is Zenzino. And Zenzino, I don't know if we can see that, but Zenzino, as of a few weeks ago. Yeah. So the mission, because you mentioned this earlier, the mission with this company for 20 years is to be the number one preventative health company in the world. So this is omega oils, and I'm going to give you a demonstration. I'm going to do a little commercial for Zenzino and from this amazing company, because I've met the founders and owners and formulators, and I'm so incredibly blown away. But our body requires omegas. They're essential. Our body doesn't make them. And so, we need omega-6. It's an inflammatory.
Anti-inflammatory.
Omega-6 is inflammatory, and we have to have some of that, because if you cut yourself, you definitely want, help there. We need omega-3s. They're anti-inflammatory, and we need a ratio of 3-to-1. And 3-to-1. And if our body doesn't produce it, how are we going to get it? And so, a lot of fish and oils, but a lot of the supplements that are out there are not effective, because they have a different kind of I think the processing destroys some of the benefits, right? Well, this company, Zenzino, has created a test. So we did a little blood test and sent it off. And I came back. I was very impressed with my own number. It came 6-to-1. I've not heard of anybody else that came back the first round at 6-to-1 or better. But and I haven't taken the second test. I need to get that done. But I was at a conference and listening to people, and that had 50-something-to-1, and their kids, this couple had their kids were at 25-to-1. And so our diet in America is very, very low. This is a Scandinavian company. I love that they both start. Yeah. Zervita and Zenzino both start with Z. I love that we're merging and combining after all these years of, just being in love with the product. So Zenzino, this being the number one preventive health company in the world, and they've just entered North America in the last year. So,
oh wow,
it's in countries all over the world. So it's still it's new here, and we believe it's going to be explosive. And so anyway, I because what you were just talking about is exactly what I have in my hand right here, and I take a little shot of this really decent tasting oil. And, I've been seeing a lot of things on Facebook about castor oil and cod liver oil and those kinds of things that our body needs those oils, and our body needs fats. I mean, fat doesn't make you fat. It's maybe some processing and things. So there's that other side of things that
keeps everything oiled.
Yeah, I gotta keep greased. Yeah, but this
it's
is
like
the
a car.
one.
Without oil, it's not going to work well.
And I'll stop after this. But there was a gentleman that had been taking this oil for 3 weeks. That he stood up and he's going, I'm a carpenter. I build custom-made cabinets, and I have arthritis in my hands. And he said, it's been really a challenge. And he said he has zero pain in his hands and can do his job after just a few weeks on the having your oils. Fabulous. And so, yeah. And my friend, the drops a few weeks later, getting down to close to 3-to-1 is miraculous just by that. And it's simple. I mean, it just half 2 teaspoons of oil that, why not? Right. So anyway, Charla Anderson, is ZURVITA.com/Charla, CHARLA is where my website is right now. If anybody out there is listening and wants more information about Zenzino or any of these amazing products. So I've just done myself a commercial. I haven't done that. I don't do it often. But why not? It's my show.
Why not? Well, and obviously it's totally on topic. And there are some good oils out there, and there are some oils that aren't so good. And
all the seed oils and all they've created these. Man, most of these things that have been generated man-made are not necessarily our best friend.
No, definitely not. And so, I mean, again, I've been using olive oil, MCT oil.
What is MCT? You mentioned that earlier. What is MCT?
That's a good question. I don't know. I just always know it as MCT oil. It's been taken out of something. I have to do my research again. But yeah, it's just.
Is it like an essential oil size, or is it something?
No, it's a big. It's a big container.
Okay.
And
well, we can all look it up. You don't have to. You don't have to know it all. It's certainly available.
Certainly, I did when I first started on it. That was a long time ago. So now it's just like MCT oil. Doesn't everybody know what MCT oil is?
Well, we're talking about the health, and a lot of our seniors, have this, a bunch of these little orange bottles. I don't have none. I have no prescription in my home that I just don't. And so our mindset is a huge thing. I don't believe in getting sick, so I don't get sick. And that's not arrogance. That's authority. I choose my belief. And that doesn't, I'm not arrogant about it at all. It's like, I'm not arrogant about not watching TV. It's just me, who I do, what I do, who I am and what I do. But I'll give an example of I had a rant a few months ago now. It's called, I called it the white coat syndrome. We feel like there's an authority figure that wears a white coat that knows it and all, meaning the medical industry. Right? So, yeah. And I had a huge rant about it. And you know what? I think, where did I get that meme? Anyway, some meme caused me to go, wait a minute. Yes, foods are good. Foods are medicine, and instead of medicine. So, for instance, if you are taking high blood pressure medicine, and they say, and don't eat grapefruit, because grapefruit helps with high blood pressure. So if there's something natural, they don't want you to take it. And am I making any sense here? Because it's to me, it's like it doesn't make sense to me that's the way. We've been ingrained and kind of taught.
Well, I guess because you now have got yourself into such an imbalance that you have to take a prescriptive medicine, and something natural is going to give an additional natural boost, but it's not going to balance with their drug. And therefore, they have to sort of say, don't take it while you're taking this, because, and I can understand
that. I totally get it. Get it. But what if, before you get on that medication, you start eating a grapefruit a day? What if and the other things that help with that, and just test for yourself before you, automatically, pop up.
Well, you and I would tend to do that. Most people rush to the doctor and go, oh, what pill can you give me?
I like the color purple. I want a purple pill. I mean, I was amazed when the advertising started shifting to just ask for this. Don't. Well,
it's fun. It's funny. I have one prescription that I take, and it's for melatonin. And melatonin is a product that people take for diabetes. I don't have diabetes. I take it for the benefits of it, because it does help balance your sugar, and that's helpful. And so there's, and it's an old medication. It's been around for a gazillion years for people with diabetes because it was prescribed for a long time. And I can't believe how inexpensive it is. I think I get like a 6-month dose for $30 or something. It's ridiculous. Cheaper than a lot of the supplements that I take, but it's still very, very beneficial. And where I learned about it from was David Sinclair in his lifespan book, because he was telling people about why they needed to take melatonin and the benefits of it. So,
by the way, I'm not judging. Okay, it's not.
No.
Everybody has their. I'm saying this to the audience. You do you. But sometimes take a moment to research what are some alternatives, perhaps that. Because there are a lot of alternatives. And the mindset, we're talking about the brain research earlier, and I don't know if you are familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And the mindset. I mean, I love the mindset conversation, and every word matters. What you speak matters. What you say after the words I am is who you are. So be careful. Every word matters. That's that book. Every word matters. Speak what you want. No, and actually, I've just been reminded I want to start speaking my desires, not what I want, because my desires is of the Father. It's a bold word, whereas want is extreme lack. So I'm trying to eliminate that word a little bit out of my vocabulary as well.
But you see, once again, it's consciousness. And one of the things that we have to decide is, first of all, who do we want to be? And conscious is one of the things that you and I want to be. A lot of people don't want to be conscious. They want to be in la la land, going la 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 la. And that's the world that is really, really in trouble, because la 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 doesn't give you a long, healthy life.
No, and there's, I don't know, I think people are waking up. We're talking about the consciousness. I've noticed a lot more conversation in the last year or so, a couple of years, about consciousness and being awake and understanding and listening to your body. And I just saw a beautiful meme yesterday, and it's a little boy leaning against a tree going like this, and it says, see with your heart. We have our heart centered, and our body knows everything. Every bit of information from the beginning of time is in our cells, right? So we have access to it. We just don't slow down and be quiet enough to hear our own bodies and listen to what our bodies tell us, because it knows if you should have something or not have something. It knows if you just be still and know is a biblical term. And I do at the beginning of my show, give me a second to take a breath and get centered, right?
And that's critical. I mean, and you have to become aware of who you are and what you want to do with your life and how you want to live your life. If you don't want to do anything more than sit and watch TV, that's your choice. And it wouldn't be mine, wouldn't be yours, but it is a choice. And people have to choose what works for them.
Exactly. And I very, very like you. It's your choice. You get to choose. We're all in this world together. I want to make a difference for you where I can. But if you don't want that, that's okay. That's your choice too.
Absolutely. And it's just good to know that we have alternatives, because some people would love to make a different choice. They don't know they have an alternative. And that's where you come in and I come in, and people who are willing to speak up and say, hey, you don't have to accept this. Yes, you're going to get older, but no, you don't have to keep aging. Aging is an option.
I think, yeah. What is it? Whereas misery is,
Misery loves company.
yeah, I love that. No, so you said it's a choice. Everything is a choice. We get to choose. And the first part of this coming to me, misery is optional. Change is inevitable. Misery is optional. There's that old saying that I was trying to come up with. But, so, getting older, the numbers keep rising, but you don't have to be, you don't have to suck
Well, and
into it.
suffering, I think, is optional.
Suffering is optional. Mindset. We've got a lot to offer. And these silver hairs came by them honestly, so
Me too.
I know you did too. We, none of us have it, a free ride here. So how people are going to find you on Facebook, and is it DEFI? So DEFI aging.com is your under construction website. So by the time all this gets out there and people start listening, and probably be ready. DEFI.
Yeah, it needs. I started it at one point in time, and then I dropped it and got busy doing something else, and things went on, and so it needs to be definitely.
It's a great one. So instead of Defy Aging, which is DEFY, we're going to have DEFI Aging, AGING.com. Look for Mary Sloane, but you're on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn, and that's MarySloane, Sloane with
and
me.
on both Facebook and LinkedIn, I have put my middle initial in there, so it's Mary K. Sloane, SLOANE, on both Facebook and LinkedIn, and you'll see, both of them. My headline is all about defy aging, or because that's really what I would invite people to do, is say, no, I don't have to, and no, I don't want to. And so now I have to figure out what I can do to actually stop that. And there's a lot of things that you can do, and every step that you take, small ones, big ones, whatever you take, each one is a step towards freedom, because now you have become in charge. You have said, this is for me, not I'm just stuck here and there's nothing I can do. I'm going to get older. It's going to be really awful.
That's a victim, the victim mentality that I just can hardly stomach. Poor me, Not, not around that many people like that. So fortunately.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to hear more about your products. At some point, you and I should have a conversation.
Absolutely. I with it just entering in this marketplace, it's gonna hit big, because it is totally impacting positively in people's lives. So
yeah, well, I mean, it looks like they have a lot of products that I would be really excited about talking to people about, and would fit well into everything that I'm doing. I mean, there's a lot of things.
It will mesh right on in with whatever else you're doing.
Yeah,
so I'll send you some information, or we'll talk after a while. But Mary, I thank you so very, very much. This has been, I just love having an hour to sit and talk to people, somebody, and my name means to chat in Spanish. So I do some chat occasionally. And, but this is a focused time to get to know somebody a little bit better. And is there any last words? The time goes fast, so we're just going to wind it down. And is there anything else you want to leave with the listeners and see where we're headed?
What I really want to leave people with is, it really is up to you how you want to live your life, because there's nothing I can do until you've made that decision, and there's nothing Charla can do until you've made that decision. And we both would hope that it's shows like this that can open the door to, oh, I didn't know that was a possibility. And you can't make a decision to go a different way if you don't know there is a different way, if you think I'm stuck here and there's nothing else optional, but there's a lot optional. And I'd love to speak with anybody who'd like to speak with me. Reach out. I'm pretty available, and I'm going to be very active. So.
Yeah, and I have a friend that's a mentor, that Vincent Agbatorgo, and he sends out a little blurb almost every day, and he's like, keep breathing free oxygen, so and I like to add, if you're on this side of the dirt, keep breathing free oxygen, and especially if you're in Texas, but I like to add that. And
with all the fires that have been going through places like California, oxygen has been in short supply. So, even then you can't count on having oxygen, then it's pretty critical.
It is. Duh. I don't think we're going to live without it. But anyway, this has been so much fun. I appreciate your conversation. I appreciate your empathy and your message. Everything that you're doing is right in alignment with what I'm doing as well. And what time is it? Oh, God. It is got a couple minutes. Can I ask you, are you familiar with landmark education? This is
yes, of course.
You said cause in the matter. You said cause in the matter. Okay, so our language is similar too. So I was like, there's a couple of things you said, and I'm like, that is so landmark. So is that not funny? I went through the wisdom course, and just advanced and all that stuff. So landmarkworldwide.com, if anybody wants to have a little bit of that's a weekend of, that'll do you change in a quick minute.
Oh boy. That first introductory course.
Split Second Transformation, Change Your Words, Change Your Life, 31 Daily Practices. I changed my life in a split second in 2007. So it is possible. You can make it. You don't like where you are, speak a different word, make a different agreement with yourself, take a different direction. You can't change that. You can't change what got you here, but you can change where you're headed. So with all that, I'm just going to leave it. And thank you so very, very, very much to join me today on the Charla Anderson Show, and I hope to see you every week. And we'll see you at Senior Tubers as well. So blessings to you. Thanks so much, Mary. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Charla. Take care. Bye-bye.
Parting is such sweet sorrow. The Charla Anderson Show. Encouraging you to stand strong and courageous with bold faith, no fear, immense hope, kindness, and love, especially towards yourself. Visit charlaanderson.com for replays, blogs, and more on her ever-expanding website, as well as watch her live TV show on winwinwomen.tv, Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And so that we can continue learning together and growing this community of beautiful souls, we invite you to share the Charla Anderson Show with your circle of friends. Until we meet again next week, remember always, choose joy.